No.
Still
Yes.
not. Now we're live. It doesn't say live yet. It says off air. I'm gonna wait.
I
I'm
got
gonna
live.
wait.
But we're
How do you
fucking
have live?
live.
I don't know, man.
Oh, there it is. Hello and welcome to another edition of the Thursday Throwdown. As always, I'm your host, X to the D to the A to the L to the Y. It's been a long layoff, man. For me to come on here and say the longest running episodic show in 239 history would be false because we're not anymore. You know, life happens. I'm in between jobs, started my new one. You know, Ability works 19 jobs. You know, Dolly has jobs, job singular. You know, Pale's doing his thing, man. You know, sometimes, and you know, Agent just doesn't come on the show anymore. So that's a thing. But he takes all the time in the world to correct my grammar, but doesn't show up for his own show. So that's about how serious we take Agent around here now. But you know what? It happened, man. You know, the catch line's mine. The phrase is mine. I'm sure the elitists will take it because they think of nothing on their own. So they'll just steal all my material. But it's good. It's funny. It works. But we're here, man. It's the Throwdown. It's been 2 weeks. I'm excited to be back. We're coming up on episode 100, believe it or not, in the next coming weeks too. So that's exciting as well. But we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, the layover. We didn't get to talk for a couple of weeks. So I'm going to introduce the panel. A lot of regulars tonight, man. We went with the OG crew tonight. Send it over to none other than Pale Poner, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right, man. It's been a couple weeks since I've been on the show for an intro, man. It's been a little while. I got a new job as well, and that's kind of been interfering with our throwdown thing going on. And but I'm glad to be here, and there's a lot to discuss tonight. So let's move it along. Ability, how you doing?
You know, I am always doing great. You know what I mean? There's not a day in my life that I just don't love unless I throw my back out. But right now, I gotta let you guys know that this sweet little gem has made its way to me,
Is there a new
and I
name
couldn't
on
be
it?
more proud. It's
Let's
beautiful.
let's see the new name. Where's that at?
Oh, hold on. Check this out. You leave Esso to do one job.
Yeah, it's backwards. Hey, now in defense, he told me it was going to be backwards, but we joked, you and I, Ryan, about your name being literally right under mine, and now it's literally directly under my name. So that
So
it kind of worked
here's
out.
what I want to say though. If this ends up, because both of our names are on this, right?
Right.
So if this ends up getting replaced, I would like dibs on it, but your name's on there first, so I don't know how we're gonna fight that one out.
So what I was thinking, and we'll get we'll get to that. Last guy on the show, none other. Sorry, Dolly, man. You know how Ryan gets with this fucking belt, man. Dolly,
Real excited.
Dolly, how you doing, man?
I'm good. I'm good. It's a little bit of a stinger to see ability with that, but hopefully we can get him to keep it this season.
Now, Dolly, it's okay, man. We got it in season 4, man. We got it in season 4. We're always gonna have that, even though you beat me the other night, and I will not forgive you for that. But we're not gonna talk about that. Not now, at least. Yeah, what I was thinking, man. I would love to get like a shadow box or something or other. Me and Esso have been talking about it to display all the old plaques because obviously 8 fit. So when the first one comes off and move the second one over, I'll set something up behind me, maybe hanging, so that it'll always be displayed. We'll figure something out. But yeah, we'll do something cool with it, man. But yeah, the belt. What other league? I keep looking this way because it's usually over here, but I'm charging my iPad. So today, but if you haven't, maybe I'll post it in the forum. Sniper has done some awesome things with Photoshop, and a lot of them have to do with none other than the Ryan Randall potentially holding a black dildo or kissing a black dildo as he dry humps the belt. He doesn't even care, man. He doesn't even care that he was photoshopped with a big black dildo. That's fine. And you know, here's the thing, man. My G chat has been on fire the last couple of weeks. Daily, I can't believe you missed the show. I can't believe it, man. What the heck happened? Guys, this is just a testament to the things that we do here. You love us, you missed us, and now we're here. We're back, man. So shout out to the 239 fam for keeping us in check and letting us know that you missed the product. So we're here after the week. Let's jump right into it. I want to do a new segment here. Kind of done something like it before, but we're going to break our analysis. So we're about the halfway point. After tonight, we will be the halfway point. things are starting to shape up, sort of, kind of. I want to run this league through the top safe. We'll do all the teams, but it's a segment called For Real or Fraud. Now, there's some standings, there's some strength of schedule issues thus far, and I want to know what the panel thinks, if this is a for real team or if they're frauds with where they're sitting. So I'm going to jump right in the standings. Let's start right at the top, the drop pass Murphys. 13-2, coming off a sweep last night. They did lose a series to Imagination Land, who we'll get to in a little bit, led by Joey Stopa. But Pale, drop past Murphys. You got Murph on right D, Donnie Wood on lefty, the part-time dynamic of Schwartz and Saney. You got BBX and Gugatron, who are the mainstays there. Is this team for real at the top of the standings, or are they frauds?
I want to see more from the drop pass Murphys, man. I played Imagination Land earlier this season and thought that they were beatable. And, that's no shot at them. They're a good team as well. But seeing that loss kind of puts a little bit of a doubt in my mind that whether they're the runaway number 1 seed going into this season, going through the rest of the season. So I'm going to go with fraud on this one. I think that they're an obvious playoff team and they're going to be a contender. But the number 1 seed and somebody who's going to sit there all season long, I don't know that that's the case.
Dolly, man, what do you think? They're 3 points up. There's no games in hand. The only team that has games in hand right now are hashtag Chem and Raising Cane by my numbers. Is drop past Murphys for real or fraud at the top of the standings right now?
Well, we have games in hand too. We have like the least.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's neither here nor there. I'll say this: I've watched a lot of series so far this season, and last night they played against Dom's team, and Dom had a waiver. He had no quantum, which is their number 1 center. He's their main forward. He's their guy, right? Both of those first 2 games, they were in there. They could have won if they were a bit more consistent defensively. They could have beaten that team. I don't think this team is as good as people think they are. If they could play their full lineup every game, probably a different story, but they can't. So that's not an excuse. I think these guys are a top 5 team. I don't think they finished number 1 this season.
Ability, man. The consensus is fraud on this one. Oh, man, if Legion was watching right now when you did that. What do you think, man? Frauds for real? What's the deal with the drop pass Murphys? Where are you sitting on them?
I like the team. I think any team that's got Crips, right? I mean, we can't talk this guy up for a whole season, watch some spectacular stuff he does, and then just pretend he doesn't exist. This guy is a force to be reckoned with. I think that they have a chance at they're going to be a top 3 team, right? I would assume that the team's good. Offensive power is top notch, and they got the best goaltender. I like the team. I don't want to really play against them because I don't like playing against teams that I think have a potential of beating my team. I just don't. These guys have that potential. Are they going to finish number 1? I don't know about that. Come on, it's tough to say if anyone's going to pull that off, but they're a good team.
Yeah, I mean, and so Dolly made mention of it too. The games in hand, we got like Netflix and chill, got a couple 3. I'm basing this off the 15 game marker. Knights of the Frozen Throne have 6 to be played. I know Captain Ability has been doing a lot of solids around the league, helping people out. Where I sit on drop pass Murphys is simply this. It's a team with a lot of talent, but I've said it before. I'll say it again. The part-time thing, it's tough. And I think that if Murph manages it appropriately, and when I say manages it, it strictly means making sure that Schwartz and Saney do not play in the same series. That's what makes that team dynamic. It's not a shot at Gugatron, but when they do that, all of a sudden they have to use They would have to use Demented Spud, and it's not a slight at Spud, but now you're moving a lot of pieces. So now Murph's going up to forward. Spud is a lefty only. I know Donnie Wood prefers lefty. So I just really, really feel that this team is a top team, and I could even be comfortable saying number 1 for the reasons that Ability gave. They got off to a really hot start first and foremost, which is huge. That's so big in this. You don't think about that. Every point is key. So the 9-0 start was tremendous, and they've swept 4 series out of the 5 they've played. You have B. Cripps in net, who's an absolute monster. My thing is, again, with the part-time and the full-time, you just have to make sure that those two, Schwartz and Sainer, are not playing on the same day. If he wants to stack a series and he feels really confident in another, that allows Murph to move up, Spud to move back. I'm going to stick with him, man. I think these guys are for real. I think they're going to finish as the number 1 seed. It's not a slight at some of the other teams. I just really think that they have this interesting dynamic. And from what I've seen from Murph as a captain so far, where people really questioned how good he was going to actually be, I'm a Murph guy, and I think he's doing a tremendous job. So I'm going for real. I think this is your number 1 seed, when the season comes to an end. That's where I'm at on it. The next team, Swift Pups, led by none other than No Regretski's Mr. Sights, Brian with a Y. With a Y immediately. Thank you very much. He's a dynamic forward, first and foremost. They're sitting at 11-3-1, second place right now. This is where stuff starts to get really tight, 2, 3, 4, 5. A lot of these teams separated by 4 or 5 points. Onisimov is a very unknown guy in this league, but he wins faceoffs at a tremendous clip. Esoteric, everybody knows Mr. I like to push up, has added a certain shiftiness to his game that I've never seen. I wish I had it last year on my team, but all of a sudden he's become very shifty and tight. And then when you look at the defense, Rondon Volante establishing himself as the true number 1 right D on this team. Mags being that really, really good prototypical number 2 guy who's really quick with his breakouts. He's very, very solid, not going to get beat too often. And watch your back emerging as an elite goaltender, a top 3 goaltender in this league. Now, with all those factors, and you have time to get Steven, by the way, who I'm sure about, 80% of this league wish they had on his team right now, because there's a lot of teams with D problems, and he is definitely more than suitable to start as a number 2 guy on the team. A lot of guys wishing they had him. So, with all those factors in play, Pale, is Swift Pups for real at number 2, or are they frauds, man?
Dude, I said it at the start of the season. Swift Pups was my team. I thought that they were going to be the best team in the league. Yes, I think they're real. And if there's a team that's going to drop past Murphy's, I think it's them.
And I'm looking at it, Dolly. I'm trying to ask. Let me ask this, man. Swift Pups, no Regretskis. Obviously, there's a big discrepancy in points from Regretskis to Esoteric. So there's 45 for Regretskis, all the way to 30 for Esoteric. That's a really big point distribution, like a gap. Could you see that ultimately hurting this team from staying in the top 3 if they're getting it all from that one guy?
I think this team is going to be top 3 at the end of the season. I really do. But to your point, and this is no slight at my teammates from last season, but there was a significant point difference between me and my other 2 forwards. When teams hone in on that and they see who's bringing that puck in and who's generating that over the blue line play, if teams hone in on that and block that, you could see a big drop off in production. So it really depends. That being said, Wanisimov and Esso, they're great in their own right, but Gretzky likes that puck. He likes to bring it over the blue line. He's shifty. If that gets taken away from them, that could be devastating for that team.
What do you think, Pale? I'm sorry, not Pale, Ability. You're a big No Regretskis guy like I am. A guy suitable to literally carry an offense, but the other guys, that secondary scoring, will say, going to be enough for this team to stay in the top 3 this year.
So I think so. Last season I was waiting for a breakout moment from Esoteric, and it just didn't happen. I feel like the guy was sleeping half the season or something. But this season, maybe Brian No Regretski's helped ignite or awaken this inner beast in Esso. I really don't see the gap being a big deal here either, because what this is telling me is that Regretski's touching the puck a lot, which is good news for the team. And he's dishing it in the right places. The fact that it's only a 15-point spread, and we're talking about Wanisimov too. He's sitting at 29. The distribution of the puck is getting to where it needs to be, and they're capitalizing on scoring opportunities. This is huge for this team because they are making the move from, like what Pale said. I also thought this was going to be a great team. I love half the team. I could care less about the other half of the team. That's just my personal take on it. I was sitting here, watch your back. He's playing fantastic in net. The 2 defensemen on that squad, just kind of like, McGilla, just kind of like, time to get, Hansel, he's, whatever. And I don't know, man. I think they're going to finish high in the standings. I wouldn't be surprised if they took the number 1 spot. I actually like them finishing 1 a little bit more, and I like to drop past Murphy's.
So you brought up something super interesting, and this is actually going to blow your mind a little bit. So we're talking about Gretzky's distributing the puck, right? Because he's so good at that. And my biggest thing with Brian last year when I had him on my team is I'm like, motherfucker, like you have to shoot more. Like people know you want to pass. Like you have to shoot more. He's done that. He currently not only leads the league in goals, but he also leads the league in shots. So I wish he would have listened to me last year, but he's definitely taken that this year. He's scoring at a tremendous clip, 25 goals so far through 15 games, and he leads the league in shots, albeit not by much. Him and BTW are tied. These are adjustments, and I think this is why he's doing what he's doing. Regardless of being a great player, he's keeping people honest. He's keeping teams honest. You can't focus on the Gretzky's pass anymore because he will shoot on you. So goalies, hold your short side, keep your post, because otherwise he is one of the best pure – honestly, he doesn't get enough credit. He's one of the best pure goal scorers I've ever seen. Dan, I love you, but Noah Gretzky's hands are literally insane in this game. So this team is the real deal for me. I'm with ability. I could see this team really taking over that number one spot. They play really good offense. They don't get enough credit on the back end. Their team D is actually really, really good as well. So, yeah, I'm definitely going for real with this team. Number 3, the non-Kane Sensuals. Now, I couldn't tell you the D pair right now, but what I do know is that Derek Cortez has gone into net. Now, Bailey had a lot of post-draft emo. He's a really, really good forward. I believe that Bailey's a good forward. However, Bailey's an extraordinary goaltender, and I was really upset that he didn't go the whole season. Dub made some changes, some moves, whatever. Not a slight on Legion. I'm sure he was playing great. But when you have a guy like Bailey who's as dynamic and skilled as he is, not playing in net, it's so crazy. Since he's played in net 4 games, the guy has a 92 save percentage through 4 games. Now, I know it's a small sample size, but he was high on my list as a goalie. That's where I was looking to take him as a goaltender. So I think that a lot of things going right. You see Age and D-Mart seem to be getting on the same page. So, again, this non-Kane Sensuals team that C-Dub has put together with the first overall pick. Pale, I know you and Dub are homies, man. Is this team for real or are they frauds?
I'm kind of in wait-and-see mode on C-Dub's team. I don't know exactly what he's going to be doing from here on out. I mean, he started off the season playing D himself and, flip-flopped on that. He's made a lot of lineup changes. He hasn't made a whole lot of actual roster changes. But he's made a lot of lineup changes. He's got a lot of guys that he can move around and stuff like that. Ian the Breen is the D-man that, you're probably forgetting, along with You Done Know. And I think that they can be a rock-solid D pair. But we'll see. We got to see him prove it. And, I'm it's too close to call for me on this one.
I'm looking this up, man. Yeah, and it looks like since the change, Cortez is under 1 goal against average, 92 save percentage, 4-0 since the change. Dunn's on D for sure. Looks like Dub is still playing forward. And yeah, you're right. Ian has made the jump to lefty. He's got 7 games logged there, 2 points. Those look like D-man numbers to me. He's 5-2 in those games. So that seems to be what happened is Dub moved himself back up. So you have Dub, Agent D-Mart with Dunn and Ian on the back end. Legion's kind of filling in as that extra. Although, yeah, his 11 games are in net. So Legion's not playing out. He's an extra right now. There's a lot of versatility on this team too. Dolly, is this team for real or frauds, man?
You know what? They've been playing just good enough to win their series so far. I haven't seen them be dominant against anyone. I don't think they're going to stay top 3. I think they're absolutely going to make the playoffs. I think they might even be top 5, top 6. But top 3, I think, based on what I've seen so far this season, I think they got some work to do and they know it.
Ryan, man, as always, closing out every team because you're just, last naturally. It's what it is. Even though you're first.
I mean, let's not forget what it is to be the champ. Okay.
By the way, man, I segued you there for that. That was on purpose. I was giving you a chance to show off the 239 belt.
And just on the topic here, I want to give a big shout out to everybody on my squad last season. That's you, Figo and Brick and Odd and Jelly and Cosmic, and even the guys that didn't make it all the way. Man, that's awesome. All right, so this team right here, I love this team, to be honest with you. I'm a big fan of Agent. Last season, I saw that he really elevated his game, his offensive capabilities. He's really good. And when you pair him up with D-Mart, I think that he becomes scary. And, you know, I liked it, too, when I played the team. I can't remember exactly where Cortez was playing on the ice, but when we played them in our first series, yeah, I thought he was on wing. You know, he was meshing. He was getting the puck around and he was shooting. So he was finding loose pucks and putting it in. So, and I like Legion in net. I really would like to see Legion continue to play net on this team. I think that, I just think he's also come a long way. And, you know, his record as it sits currently on the squad is 7-4. I think it could probably be better than that even. But I do like the team. I think that they're definitely going to be one of the top teams. It's hard to put any team that has D-Mart on it any lower than that. And, you know, Agent's come out of the gates firing too. He's sitting with 28 points already through 15 games. So I like the squad.
Yeah, and here's the thing. Just a couple things I've noticed, man. Just, you know, who am I, right? I'm nobody. But biggest things, Agent sometimes holds that puck a little bit too long for my liking. And I've told Agent this is not new news. If he was here, he'd be able to defend himself, but he told me he was going to be here, and he's not. So let's rip on Agent a little bit, man. The guy never shows up anymore. You know, he's always snowmobiling somewhere, jerking off in a corner, but he's never here. So let's give him some shit. But, you know, D-Mart plays that quick game, man. And again, D-Mart's adapting and learning, but I like Dub on the left wing or Dub at center, whatever. I love the way he plays the game. Again, I'm a Legion guy as well, but when you have a guy like Bailey or Cortez, when you have a guy like Derek Cortez, man, he's dynamic in net. He's game changing in net, and I think that's the key word, being game changing in net. I think this seed is about right. I'm going to say for real here in the 4. I don't see them moving up to the 3. I really like the Murphys, Swift Pups. I like the Praetorian Guard as well, who I'm segueing myself into this. So I think they're about right, man. I wouldn't be surprised to see them at a 4 or 5. They do have the meat of their schedule coming up. They got to play some tough teams here too. So we'll see. But I like them at the 4-5 mark. Next team, Praetorian Guard, which is DJ's squad, man. Thamps, Tom, and Edge all having great seasons. I think they're all over 30 points currently. On defense, he picks up Tompkins in a trade. He moves Marty McFly to right D. And in net, none other than DJ himself, the team is comprised really well. They're scoring more, 50 goals for, 40 against so far through 15 games. DJ's numbers are very, very down. Now, down from what I'm used to seeing and what we're used to seeing is you know, the below 80 save percentage, the almost 3 goals against. Now, I don't know if this is a product of his team. This team, personally, that he's put in front of him is better than any of the other teams that he's ever drafted, in my opinion. So when I see the team doing well, but his numbers are down, I can only imagine those are going to come up. So I like this team. I like how they're comprised. I've played with Thamps numerous times. We actually play these guys tonight. I think Thamps is the real deal. Tom is the real deal. And Edge is really coming to his own on that left side. It's a really nice 1-2-3 over there. I think DJ did a good job of aligning that. I'm saying for real on these guys. Dolly, do you agree with me? Disagree? Where are you at on it?
Yeah, this team's for real. I had them as like the most well-rounded team when we saw them come off the draft board. I mean, since then they've traded Yam for Tompkins essentially, which, lol. I think that they're just going to get better. Do I think they move up drastically? No, I think it's going to be a dogfight for those top 5, but they're definitely right around where they should be, I think.
Ability, man. Praetorian Guard. I know you're a big DJ guy, man. You always seem to like his teams, and you were on the Wanderers train when nobody was last year, man. But Praetorian Guard sitting at the 4 seed, 9-4-2. Are these guys the real deal, man?
Yeah. Yeah, they are. I mean, you know, this is another team comprised of a lot of great players. They pick up, you know, I'm going to mention Tom at center, and, you know, he's one of the star pieces on this squad. Thamps is leading the way. He's got 38 points so far, and that's big numbers, I think, through 15 games. The guys that are putting up, you know, the close to that 40 mark already, those are big numbers. And touching on DJ's numbers in net, let's not forget that playing goalie, it's pretty tough. You get caught off guard once or twice, and boom, those numbers change in an instant. So And a lot of things happen. I've noticed this season in particular, already early in the season, to a lot of teams, a lot of fishy, snaky, sleazy, greasy goals going in. It's a little disgusting what's taking place, but this team as a whole, I think, has really great pieces all over the ice. So they definitely deserve to be where they're at. They could probably even work their way up a little bit. I think that chances are that's probably what's going to happen. There's a bunch of teams that are going to clog up, I think, at the top. And this is going to be one of them, and rightfully so, because this team has the potential. They're going to be a strong, competitive playoff team. Yeah, they're right up there with the best of them.
Imagination Land, Joey Stopa. Been doing a lot of rescheduling, getting his guys in there, man. You know, people want the best. They want the best teams, and so you know what? What's the worst that happens? They say no. Joey's just doing his best to try and put his best lineup out there day in and day out. Can't hate him for that. Now, 9-5-1. These are the drop pass Murphy Slayers. They took him in a series, 2-1. Joey Stopa is actually having career revival. And listen, man, is it any coincidence this guy puts up his best numbers when playing alongside Brick and Figo? I say no. Currently, Joe Stowe is 8th in the league in scoring with 31 points. And, of course, he's playing with Brick. He's playing with Figo. To me, this is not a surprise. Joey had his best season 3 for Han Shot First. That's Pale's team that ended up ultimately winning the championship that season. Had his best season in 2-3-9. So there's something about this dysfunctional group that works. And you mix into the fact when Chu can play, that's good. Apparently his schedule is easing up, so he's going to be able to get into some games here from what I'm hearing. I don't know if this is to be true. So that makes this team that much stronger. Johnny Blaze not getting enough credit on the back end. Hollywood Bob filling in when necessary. Mac North is steady as they come in net, even though the numbers aren't reflecting that, because this team is scoring at a tremendous pace. They're scoring, they've got 44 goals, 15 games, so they're about 3 a game, which is great. They're giving up about 3 as well, but they're winning the close ones, so that's big. Mac North is a big part of that. I had him last year. He's a phenomenal goaltender. Brick City in Figo are the X factors on this team. Figo with that forecheck, even though he gets too aggressive and takes penalties versus XDALY all the time. But they're aggressive on the forecheck. They get it. It's like that unspoken chemistry, very Daniel Henrik Sedin-like. Not that I'm comparing them to those players, but the chemistry aspect, just knowing and going. Through all the dysfunction, man, these guys always compete. Their teams are always doing good, and they're big parts of that. So I'm on the pro train here, coming off a big win versus Drop Pass Murphys. Although my sources into my ear right now are telling me that Brick City, for disciplinary actions, hold on. This can't be right. Hold on. This is coming in right now, by the way. He's being suspended for their next series. So Brick will not be playing in their next series due to disciplinary action by Captain Joe Stowe. What do you guys think about that, Dolly?
Well, you did say they're a dysfunctional group. I don't know what the hell happened, but I'll tell you what I think about their positioning. I think they're right where they should be. I think they're more talented than where they are. I don't think they're going to change because of schedules or aids. Unfortunately, regardless of how talented the players you drafted are, if they can't play every game, it's going to be tough. You guys have a really good team. But unless a miracle happens and Shu and Figo make the rest of the season, I think you guys finish right around where you are.
Ability, man. I mean, you had Brick last year. Disciplinary action, like what's going on over there? Have you heard anything or no?
So really, I haven't heard anything about this, and it's very intriguing to me. But I'll sum it up like this, okay? There's not an unspoken chemistry between Brick and Figo. Everything is spoken, but the chemistry's there, and the plays get made. Now, as far as this disciplinary bullshit, this has got to be one of the stupidest things I have ever heard, because I've watched some of their series, and had it not been solely for Brick City, they wouldn't have won a few of those tight games. So whatever Joe Stowe's thinking he's doing, or is trying to pretend he's got bigger kahunas than Brick maybe, boy, you better let off that real quick, because you're going to be in for a hurting, especially since you have awesome potential players on this team that just can't make it. He's one of the guys that can make it, wants to be there. He wants to play, and he wants to carry you guys as far as he can. The fact that you'd even consider suspending, I hope that's a joke, because it's got to be the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. But Mac North is killing it for the squad too. He's doing phenomenal in net. I like everything Mac's been doing. Johnny Blaze, he's holding it down on D too. So this team has a lot of good pieces. They need to get their whole squad together, and if that happens, watch out, because this team right here, even though it's little behind the eight ball, this team right here is a championship caliber team, minus Joe Stowe making stupid decisions.
Yeah, that's what my sources are telling me, man. I mean, I don't know if it's true. Maybe it was heat of the moment, but as of now, I can't confirm. It's just, like I said, hearsay source, but and I can't reveal that source at this time. But the suspension is pending, from what I know. So next we have We Give 60. I actually skipped my team out of habit. I naturally, I just did that. So my team, Thompson net sitting at the 5 seed right now. Thompson's been phenomenal. If you guys don't know who Mr. Tyler is, you will soon find out, because he is the real deal in that. How he fell to round 4 will never make sense to me. You got myself, an odd guy on D, Hugh Laurie, Hockeytown, an amazing Viper up front. Listen, the defensive numbers are there. It's the number 1 D in the league right now, with the exception of Knights of the Frozen Throne, who have 6 games in hand. But other than that, that's the best defensive team as far as goals against is. That's not the issue with this team. The issue with my team, is the offense. Can this team score? Great. This team has a lot of tendencies of HUD heroes. They play really good D. They have really good goaltending, but they're not scoring, and that proved to be a problem. Now, HUD heroes made it to Game 7 of the finals. HUD heroes also scored at a better clip than what We Give 60 is. So something has to give here. But Dolly, is that a fair assessment of my team? Defense good. Offense needs some work, man.
Yeah, I mean, of course it is. I mean, the stats show that. Funny side note about the HUD Heroes, for all of the people that said we didn't score very many goals, the only time we were shut out last season was against Ability in the finals. Everybody else got fucking scored on. But that being said, I mean, what your team's needs to work on. I can use our series from the other night as a good example. In 9.5 periods, you guys had 1 goal. That's not good, but you have good players and you have people that are willing to listen. And I think that you guys will go up from here as opposed from down. I don't know how far up, but I think you'll definitely make the playoffs. You might even hit 4 or 5, but you got some work to do.
Well, Ability, you were in that same series, 2 save shutout, man. Those are about as easy as they come. Same thing. Offense needs to get jolted, right?
Yeah, it's funny, man, I stopped playing that game. I was ordering pizza and shit. I went downstairs and grabbed a beer, had an ice cream sandwich. I was having fun. I didn't even know I made 2 saves, to be honest with you. I don't know where you guys were shooting the puck. But, look, I got to be honest with you. In that series, and I said it prior to the show start, I went out and I got this Welcome to the Island shirt because I'm a big Island supporter. I love it. I fucking love it. But I didn't see the Island. Where was the Island?
Now, in defense, you guys scored 7 goals. It's the most goals that anybody scored on us all year. But 4 of those came in the game too. That was your game. It happened. Other 2 games were 2-1, 2-1. Thompson's a big part of that. The defense is a big part of that. You guys were faster. You were better. You were quicker. We were playing 2 up and down. We weren't moving left to right. My guys know it. We went over it. When you have aggressive D-men like Dolly and Drug, they're jumping on your first move. They're jumping on your first move. And when you play straight up and down, and your moves are like this, it's very, very easy. And so we needed to work. We needed to move left and right. We needed to get east to west. Adjustments need to be made. And it starts tonight with our team. So my guys know it. I'm vocal. Let everybody know in the party. Offense has to be better. So now on live TV, offense needs to be better. Starts tonight versus a very good Praetorian Guard team. So shout out to my guys. Let's get it done tonight. Next team, moving on. Now here's where it starts to get interesting, because now you're coming into a weird little realm. First of all, there's a couple reasons. One, the next team I'm going to talk about has 3 games in hand, and that's Raising Cane, led by none other than King Rome. People thought King Rome had a questionable draft to begin with, and then before the season even began, he made a couple trades that were deemed questionable. He had a left winger sleep through a series, and he's had Crazy Eddie Killer doing hockey stuff because he works for the Rangers. Epic Sandwich is a rookie. Kinky spacing more shots than anybody in the league. And still yet is holding an 82 save percentage. So shout out to her. But something has to give with this team. Now, they really, really, really need some help. And here's the reason why is because those games in hand become so important. They have 14 points or 15 points in 18 games. They're sitting in the 7th seed. Everybody under them either has 6 games more to be played, 3 games more, and then you have Knights of the Frozen Throne who have 9 games more to catch up to their 18, and all they have is 15 points. Every single one of those teams I just mentioned basically has double-digit points. It's a free-for-all right now for the 7th and 8th seed. Now, you assume that Knights of the Frozen Throne will move up. We'll get to them in a minute. But Raising Cane at 5-8-5, 5 overtime losses. This team is basically 5-13. 5-13, 5 wins, 13 losses. Dolly, at the number 7th seed, is this team for real or fraud?
I'm sorry, but with that many games in hand right now, you have no right being in the playoffs. It doesn't matter how well Kinky plays. Doesn't matter how good we know Rome is. Something's not working on that team. That's a lot of shots for any goalie to be facing. B-Crips would be losing his shit, throwing everybody under the fucking bus being on that team. So, I mean, I think they drop from here. I think the teams behind them are going to pass them, and I think Rome has a lot of work to do to either teach people how to play properly, structured defense, or they're not going to make the playoffs.
Ability, give it to me, man. What do you think?
Yeah, so I kind of agree with Dolly on that one, but I just this team, I don't know. Rome surprised me with the way that he drafted the team he initially set up, and then the trades that followed it. I really don't know what he's doing. I think that this team is probably not going to make the playoffs. I will agree with that. They're gonna have to pull something out, and it's got to be fierce, and it's got to be quick. It's got to take over immediately because from where I'm sitting here, man, and you're right, man. Kinky spaced 314 shots, and she saved 256 of them, which ain't bad. That's a lot of shots.
I mean, that's an insane amount of shots, and we're going to talk about something later in the show, but it's insane. So shout out to her. She's killing it right now. Next team up, #Ken. To me, this is the most underachieving team in 239 right now for so many different reasons. Led by Dominator Silva. When this team was constructed, man, people said, what about the offense? What about the offense? What about the offense? The offense is a problem. Nobody in their right mind, if I were to tell you this right now, that this team is currently the 3rd highest scored on team in the league, I don't think anybody would believe me, but that's the case. You have Kayla, you have Chelsea, and you have Shock and Net, and it was so promising off Jump Street, and it's just gone the wrong way. Now, they have played some tough series, but the offense is still not there. A trade was made. Hockey Kid for Middle. That was a swap. Dom looking to get some more shots out of his left wing spot. Middle is a guy who will do that. Now, Middle doesn't play a structured game, so getting Middle to really confined to a cycle or something like that, it's going to be problematic if that's what Dom wants. If he wants a straight trigger man, Middle is his guy, because that's what Middle did for Puddin. He was a trigger man. So I'm interested to see how this plays out. But something has to give with this team. Right now, with the 3 games in hand and only 14 points to their name, I'm worried that time may be running out. But the good news for #Chem is they've played the bulk of the strength of schedule. I think they've played so far out of the top 6 teams, let's say, they've played 5 of those teams. So they do face the equal point competition right now. Now, where that sits them for a potential playoff run and how they would fare versus these top teams, that's a different story. But they have what you would say is an easier schedule the rest of the way. Dolly, you have a little bit of invested interest in this series or in this team for obvious reasons. But is this team right where they're going to be when it's all said and done, for real or fraud?
I like that it's my birthday today because I can be a little bit more brutal and people will forgive me. To be honest with you, this team's problem is consistency. I think they're going to finish right around the cusp. They might make it in, they might not. But I watch this team, and they're in games against teams that we talked about already. They were in that Drop Pass Murphy series, and they had Sandy playing. And I'm telling you right now, if they didn't get, I don't want to say lazy, but if they were more focused on making sure people didn't leak behind them, they would have prevented 2 shorthanded goals and possibly taken that series with an ECU. This team holds onto the puck way too long. They need to start shooting. They have opportunities. They make themselves weave their way into good positions, and they don't shoot. You do that, and you're not going to score. So they got a lot to work on. I don't think they're going to make top 5. I think that they might make the playoffs, but they got a lot of fucking work to do.
Ability, man, and hey, and happy birthday to Dolly, Dirty 30 today, man. You're an old ass man. Now crack one open, have a sip. Oh, it's a monster. We know you love those, man. But happy birthday to Dolly, guys. In the YouTube chat, give Dolly some happy birthdays. Hey, usually Agent is in the YouTube chat, but Agent, yeah. Oh, what time is it? Oh, 9:20. Agent's still not here. He's not allowed to chirp anybody anymore, by the way. But happy birthday, Travis. We love you. You're the man. Keep on keeping on. Hashtag Camability. What do you think? For real, frauds.
I love the team. I love the makeup of the team. I thought Dom did a hell of a job, putting the pieces together with this squad. I don't know. I don't want to judge them too hard based on what I'm seeing here, because I think Dolly just said they played a few of the teams that we've already talked about, which means they're playing some of the big dogs. And if you're even staying in some of those series and keeping it close, you're doing a good job. Now, keep in mind, there's a big difference between regular season games and playoff games. And you can make an argument all you want about that, but I firmly believe that there's two different types of players, those that play, the game, and then those who try and win the game. And those players come out during the playoffs. So this team just has to get there. If this team gets to the playoff, if they can up their offensive goal scoring just a little bit, I think that they are going to be one of the serious teams in the league. If you look at it on paper, in my eyes, I think that they should be already. The stats aren't reflecting that as of yet, but I think that a lot of things are going to change. We're still early on here in 239 Season 6.
Next team is the Rectum Stuffing Danglers themselves. Excuse me. Led by Desired Customs. Saint Taria's still there, which I'm assuming he played center. By the way, sneaky good at faceoffs, sneaky good positionally. We played them. They were able to actually take one from us. Sneaky good. So shout out to Dank Love, man. He's really maybe found something there. And being that 200-foot player rather than that offensive presence, I've seen this happen quite a bit, man. Hugh Laurie used to be an offensive dynamo. He's really transitioned into that perfect two-way player. So something to think, man. Desired moves over to the right wing. He picks up BTW in a trade to move to the left wing. You have, as always, the high-risk, high-reward play of BC Renton. And then as well as Bubba Man, who's been playing really, really solid in the pipe since acquiring him through pickup, by the way. It's only been one series. 5 goals against, 1.44 goals against average, 86 save percentage for a guy who wasn't even on a roster. That's huge. And then you have Cavalier Stu, Stealth Luca D. Luca's been kind of the rock on that team all year. I know with the offensive struggles, it's been kind of hit and miss, but this is a team to me that's really on the up and up. I feel like they're playing team solid. They're on the cusp right now. They're going to need a little bit of help. And by a little bit of help, the reason I say this is because some of the teams underneath them, and we're going to get to those teams in a second. But really, to me, there's 2 spots up for grabs right now, and you have ultimately all 8 teams trying to get those spots. But I really like the Danglers. I just am concerned that the slow start may have been too little too late. Now, we're at the halfway point. But I really like the makeup of the team. The offense could be questionable. BTW should help that. He's second in the league in shots. Pucks are going to get to the net. Gosh, I'm going to say fraud only because I feel they finished right outside the top 8. And right now they're at 8. Dolly, what do you think about the Rectum Stuffers?
Yeah, I think they're going to be desperately scratching to try and get into that 8 spot. They have good players. I actually like Luca on D. He's transitioned quite well. I think he's a better forward, but I think I'm a better forward than I am in D too. It's a hard transition. We're working on it. That being said, I don't think they're scoring enough goals, and I think they're letting in too many. And if that trend continues, this team probably won't make it.
To your point, yeah, they have 28-4, 45 against. So even with the great play of Bubba Man last series, I mean, that number, you cannot have a differential that, expand that wide between goals for and goals against and expect to make the playoffs. It's just not going to happen. Same thing with hashtag Kevin Paul's in the same category. Billy, what do you think about the Danglers, man? For real, frauds, or you got them right here in this 8, 9 seed, 10 seed?
I think this is a team that has the capability and the player skill to do really well. I just don't think that it's clicking or being managed properly. And I want to touch on this just real quick, and this goes for all the captains out there. I see a lot of trading going on, and trading is good. If you feel you need to swap somebody for a reason or whatever, do it. But there's a certain point where you got to try and manage the team. Now, sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. It doesn't necessarily mean it's going to equate into wins, but manage your players. Let the team know what you want to do, how we're going to do it. I think that's what's lacking with some of these teams that are really underachieving right now. It's disappointing to me because I see big potential on paper. And I think that really this is maybe one of the teams where that's taking place. I don't know if maybe there's a little, oddball chemistry in the locker room or if just not enough's being communicated. But this squad right here has really talented players. And if they can communicate and come together, they could turn this around. I don't know if they're going to, necessarily make the playoffs, but it's still early on, man. There's a chance to do it. If you get everything clicking right away and you get some players with smiles on their faces, pucks start to go in the net. So I don't know. I like the team. I'm interested to see how they're going to fare throughout the rest of the season.
Knights of the Frozen Throne is the next team. I'm going to lay off you guys. I'm going to take this one so you can sit back, relax, and listen to what I have to say about your team. 6-3 is the run here. They've got 6 games in hand, so that 15-mark bear that we've talked about. Love the makeup of this team. Now, Opie Jelly, I know that Ryan's been on this guy for the last 2 seasons. He is a real player. He gave Odd Guy quite the bit of trouble last game. He was getting beat wide. Jelly's a very sneaky good player. Cosmic made a really nice transition. He was back a lot more than I thought he was, almost running that 3-man trap back, playing right in between both D-men, and it was just a very different look, something that I personally have not seen in a long time, and it was a very tough adjustment for it. He would literally back to the blue line where the 2 D-men were, and it was almost like they were just one long line. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen, but it worked. It worked, and it was really, really good. Fastest team we've played. Very, very quick with the breakouts. I've always said on this show, D-men who can move the puck is a trait that you can't. I mean, it's so hard. There's very few D-men who do it well. They have 2 of them. Dolly and Drug, both very good and aggressive defensively, as well as great puck movers. It was a nightmare. This is a really good team. To me, this is going to be a top 4 team, if not, top 3 team. This ranking is only because they have been rescheduling and haven't played games. Otherwise, we would have talked about these guys 40 minutes ago. Here's the one issue that ability teams always have. They don't score on the power play. They don't score on the power play. This team has 0 power play goals through 9 games. I literally thought last year that ability was just a sped and didn't know how to put power play goals in. But his teams just don't score on the power play. They would rather have an insane plus-minus and say, fuck the special teams. They kill penalties at 93% clip. So, again, it doesn't matter. But it's crazy. Their 5-on-5 play is great. So this is going to be a top 4 team, probably top 3 team in my eyes. Do you guys want to talk about your team, or did I nail it? You guys good with it?
Dolly, you got anything to say? I might have something to say. Dolly, you want to go first?
No?
You go ahead. You go ahead.
Okay. So this is all you need to know about ability teams right here is that, when I put something together, when I've got a vision, this is what ends up amounting from it, all right? Now, I've already got this thing in my possession, which is scary enough because I know none of you sons of bitches saw that coming. But I might have it in my possession for a whole nother damn season if you're not careful. So, my team, man, we communicate. We have a plan going into stuff. That doesn't always work, but, man, it works just enough.
Well, I hate it, man. Like, you guys all used to message me daily. I can't stand seeing you with that fucking belt every goddamn week. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I was not nearly as bad as Ron. I never kissed the damn thing live on air and had it a black dildo.
Let's be clear. I didn't kiss it, and I don't think I'm going to. I don't trust what any of you sons of bitches did with it before me. But
listen, man, that belt has been to Halifax, Mass, Minnesota. See, sober is the one you got to worry about. You don't know what happened in Minnesota, okay? And then it came to the Shy. I mean, me and the O-Dog, we hung out with it, but the sober one, and Pale's a good dude. He took it to Citizens Bank Park, got a good run, cool. I worry about the Minnesota trip, man. I didn't really hear much about it, and it was there a little bit longer than expected. So, shout out to Sober and his man juice on the belt. Anyways, moving along. Chili Cone Carnage, who was an early season favorite for most teams, got off to an atrocious start. Now, since then, they're 6-9. Surprised me as number 2 in the league in scoring, right where everybody thought he would be right up in the top 5. Pogs playing his two-way game. They're giving up a lot of goals, and you have to question whether it's the D or the goaltending. My sources are telling me that the goaltending issue has been a mess. He started Zlo, he started Marine Mike, he started Jets Killer. It's a mess. And the problem is that he's not going to get any trade partners unless he's willing to move a Brad or a Floaty or surprise me. So Pogs is either going to have to deal one of his guys and break up the front 5 unit to get that piece he needs, or he's stuck with what he's got. Now, as it sits, is this a playoff team? No, they're not. They're 6-9. They got 12 points to 15 games. They got a couple teams ahead. Like I said, I really, really, really believe that teams in the top 6 are all playoff teams. So I think they're really going to have to grind. And I think one of those top 6 teams is really going to have to fall. But I think they're right now. I think Chili Con Carne is due to the lack of offense or lack of goaltending. And I just don't see where that fix is going to be able to be had unless he breaks up the team that he has. And I know that Pogs likes his front 5, but it's going to take one of those guys going in order to get the goaltending. And is he going to be willing to do that? So I think they're for real right where they're at. What do you think, Dolly?
Well, we play them tonight, so we'll find out firsthand if they're going to rebound or not. If they don't win tonight, it's going to be a very, very tough climb. I think this team is a very fast offense. I think they try and move the puck quickly, and I think against a good defensive team, that might be a problem because if you pick off those passes and those forwards are caught too high, with goaltending that's been subpar this season, it's going to result in a lot of goals against. So I think they're right where they need to be right now, based on how they played.
And Cosmic is a squirrely little bastard. He really, really is, and he can really, really hurt you in a lot of different ways. So, yeah, I'm with you, man. It's going to be interesting to see. Next team, Pale Poners team, Netflix and Shell. It's just been a weird thing. Hockey Kid's going to get over there. He's going to get in there with Pale and Wizzy War, who I'm a big fan of, man. I've gone on the show saying it a bunch. They're not scoring a lot, 23 goals in 12 games. It's less than 2 a game. Not going to win like that. The Lime has been not playing his normal live and squeeze self. I saw a game where he let in 3 goals on 5 shots. Can't happen. I don't know the parameters of that, but again, cannot happen. This team is the number. Are they number? No, they are the number 1 power play in 239 at almost 30%. But they only have 23 goals. This tells me that a lot of their goals volume is coming on the power play. Defensively, there's just, I know they have Sniper. He's under the weather, so he might not even be making the series tonight. Derek GNR has been solid thus far. Lime has to be better. Although Lime's numbers, when you look at him, 2.5 goals against and an 80 save percentage on a team that is 3-5-4, not necessarily bad. Doesn't tell me that he's the problem. They just need to get some more pucks in the net. Dolly, is this team for real or fraud at number 12?
I have been brutally honest with Pale's team all season, and it's for a reason. I think they are where they should be. I think based on how they played, I don't think they're going anywhere. Got a lot of work to do to pull that team together. I'm sorry, Pale, I love you to death, but it's going to be a tough climb for you.
What do you think, Ability? Is this pretty much spot on?
I don't know, man. Pale's team's just not doing what they should be. I don't know. I think there's a lot of talent in the league. I don't know why these guys aren't performing a little bit better. I expected more out of them. I thought they were going to probably be right in the middle of the pack the entire way. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Pale's a busy guy too, man. Maybe it's getting in the way of his hockey time.
I will say, man, I hate Pale's new job. I hate it, man. I hate it. But I can't wait to he already took the time off, man, because for all you East Coast folk, myself, Chew Therapy will be visiting Esoteric in March, as we do end of March. It's that last week. And we're going to be in the New Jersey area, man. Me, Chew, and Eso. I know Yambag is going to be there. Pale's going to be there. Who else? Hugh's going to be there. Scott, a.k.a. 37, is going to be there. So if you guys are on the East Coast and want to get together Thursday, Friday, we're going to be there, man. Take time off work, 2 months away. Let's get together, 239. Maybe an on-site Thursday Throwdown. That would be kind of cool. While I'm spitballing here, it would be very cool to do something like that. So if you are on the East Coast, you can message me personally. I can give you some details, myself, Chewy, Eso. Get after it. But next team, worst case Ontario, my boy Kiefer McSwagger, man. I'm going to tell you what. I love me some Mick Swagger, dude. This guy is fucking grinding. Would let captain again in a heartbeat. He is doing the best with what he can. Thug's box took a shit. Had Peaceful Bob. Bobby slides in the net. Cool. That's fixed, right? Awesome. Shit goes a little south. All of a sudden, Dicko has some personal stuff happen. Now he's down that. He's making trades. He's trying to make his team better. He's doing the best that he freaking can. It's just one of those seasons. Keith, man, if you're listening, I've had it myself. You guys are 5-7. You're still in it. As the roster is constructed right now, though, I think that with some of the other teams ahead of them and where they're sitting, I just think it's going to be a really, really long uphill battle. He did get revelations. He does have Yambek, who's very underrated D, but they're up against it, man. Blue Leonard has to play better. Bobby has to play better in net. I don't know if Bob will slide out, if Blue Leonard will come in net, if stuff's going awry, but Bobby's numbers have not looked great as of late. But maybe these guys can turn it around. But right now, I think this is a for real setting for them. What do you think, Dolly?
Yeah, I agree. I think their goals against and their goals for are pretty close. It seems like they're in a lot of games, but they're not pulling it out when they need to so far. I think that they might move up and maybe fight for that 8th spot, but there's some good teams in front of them, so it'll be tough.
Yeah, let me see here. Yeah, what do you think, Ability? Worst case Ontario, 5-7. They're almost 500. They got some games in hand, but with some of the teams ahead of them, do you like worst case Ontario, or do you think they don't have a chance?
No, man, I like the team. I think it was real unfortunate losing Dicko because he was, in my opinion, one of the strongest pieces on the team. But I like the team. I think that this team can kind of be summed up like this. When it's come full circle and all of a sudden Mick Swagger trades for Yambag, that says all you need to know about the team, man. I love you guys, but I don't know.
Last but not least, the Bullet Club gets a big sweep. All of a sudden, they got 9 points. However, the two teams in front of them both have 3 games in hand and a point on. And if you go up further, Knights of the Frozen Throne have 6 games in hand and already have 3 more points. I love Tommy. I love what he's done. Trying to make do. Clancy and Ozzy seem to be getting after it, seem to be getting stronger, seem to be getting better. But I just think it's too little too late for this team. I just really do. If Cosmic was in the mix playing like he did last night or 2 nights ago, I'd speak a little differently. But yeah, they're just, I think it's just too little too late for real where they're at. Dolly, for real on the Bullet Club, man.
Yeah, I was been hard on Pale's team. I've been even more hard on this team. The first thing I said this season was even with Cosmic not having a broken thumb, this team was in trouble. It just didn't look like it was going to work, and I'm sorry, but it's not. I don't know what exactly your weaknesses are, but whatever you have going on there isn't working, Tommy. So I think you guys are right where you need to be.
And what do you think, Ability, right where they are, man?
I'm not the biggest fan of. Okay, a lot of players this season switch positions on us, just changed it sporadically. And I think that in this case, and I said it before on a different throwdown, I don't like that Master Shotgun moved to D. I think that he should have just kept playing goalie because he's great at it. He's not playing that bad at D, but I don't think he's playing good enough to help this team seriously win games. They're giving in some goals, and I think that's costing them a lot. I think that we're seeing another season here where, in my opinion, Sober is underperforming. He's leading the team in points, but personally is underperforming. He's capable of so much more if he applied himself. I don't know if other video games are still getting in the way or what, but you know, I've heard, you know, it's not coming in right now, but I've heard it before that there's been a little bit of an issue in the locker room. And I don't know what the issues are, but it goes back to the communication thing, man. Everyone just needs to get on the same page, get a plan going, you know, set up something and make it work. Because this team is underperforming, and there's no need for it because they got a lot of talent on the team.
Yeah, and that pretty much concludes it, man. For those who are like looking at not concludes that segment, but for looking at the itinerary or the schedule I put together, you know, we talked about hashtag Cam, the once promising team can't seem to get things going offensively, defensively. We've touched on that. Bullet Club sweeps Netflix and chill, but we just fail. It's too little too late on those guys. But I want to touch on one thing. So last season, guys, We had a 36 game season. This season will be 39 games. Am I correct? 39 games would be the season this year. Last year, we had teams, and I'll tell you goals for 120, 161, 197, 126, 125, 112, 128, 111, 109, 103. These are goal totals, goals for 36 games. It was a really high scoring season, especially 197 for the ultimate defending champions who scored all those goals. I was looking at the stats getting prepared for the show, and I was stifled. And I'm looking at some of the goal totals. Yes, we're at the halfway point, but I'm going to say these out loud. 58, 54, 48, 50, 33, 44, 36, 34, 28. Double those numbers. Those aren't very high goal totals. You have 3 teams right now that are probably going to finish with over 100 goals for. Again, I had to ask myself, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? I've chalked this up to one thing. The league itself has gotten better. The league itself has just naturally, organically, over the last 6 seasons has gotten stronger, and the players have gotten stronger. People who are captaining are understanding chemistries, understanding who plays well together. There's a lot of different factors that play into it. I'll take this a step further. If you look at season 6 right now, there's 4 guys, realistically, who are on pace to score over 100 points. It's Noah Gretzky has 45. Surprised me with 40. 38 for Thamps, 38 for DMAR, 36 for Tom FTW. So there's 5 guys realistically, by the numbers, who are averaging enough points to do that in a 39-game season. Now let's take this a step further. And this is not a slight on Thamps. Thamps has never, in any league that I've ever played with him, surpassed 100 points in a season. I would take him out of the race. And now he's going to shit on me tonight because I fucking play them. But I'm just playing the numbers. Tom FTW had over 100 last year. I could see him climbing in. Surprise me or Gretzky's, DMART, all guys capable of that. So there's 4 guys, realistically, 5 who could do 100 points. Last season, we had 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had 6 guys, 99 plus. We had 1, 2, 3, an additional 3, 4 with high 80s. Listen, the fact of the matter is that this season, the teams are much better defensively, and I think that it's because of the league growth and the league getting stronger with talent. Now, Dolly, there's a lot of information. You look at the season, you see the defense, you see the goals are way, 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 way down. What do you think? Do you agree with some of my points, or do you think it's for something completely different?
Well, okay, so it's a pretty broad spectrum when you say that the league itself has gotten better, because it has in a bunch of different ways. I just went back right now and I looked at the standings from last season. That Rejects team, the team we threw together last season, led up 204 goals. They scored 72. That's a 130 goal differential that went to all these other teams. That's a huge bonus. But the other 3 bottom teams, all are minus 80 in terms of goal differential. The talent that were on the top teams last season are all spread out. And a testament to this is that I've been in this league 3 seasons. I've been on 3 different teams with 6 different players every time, because people are paying attention. They want to play with different people. They want to play with people that win. Another reason is that when you first start a new game, goalies are still kind of figuring out where they need to be, how the animations work, how they're going to get fucked this time by EA. And this season, the goalies already, I've noticed, have been like, the difference is ridiculous in terms of quality of goaltending. There's about 6 goalies in this league right now that I've played against in general that are playing as well as B-Crips did last season. They're just figuring it out. So that's dropping goals. There are people that switch to defense. Marty, Luca, myself, that are improving teams' defense. We're also teaching other people how to play positionally. The league itself is growing in such a way that not just certain people, but everybody is getting better as a whole by watching each other and listening to each other, which is a pretty fantastic thing.
And I think you bring up a couple good points. I totally forgot about the Rejects last year. Now, there were some teams and some on this show that I will not mention who may have won belt and ran up scores for fucking dumbass point titles, but I'll leave that alone. But there were a lot of teams who did not purposefully do that. There were some that did and some that didn't, but that's a great point. That's a big reason as to why the goals may have been inflated. Yeah, I'm happy you won, but I don't give a fuck about Cosmic Fade's point fucking title. Cosmic, if you're watching, that was
You won because of defense, not because of offense. Don't fool yourself.
Yeah, 1-0 in the finals, motherfucker. You got me all hot and bothered. Ugh. Anyways, man, I'm all set with that shit. I hate that shit. Oh, you see this? I fucking hate it. Dumb. Anyways, ability, man. You've seen it. Are we kind of in the just the league's getting stronger? People are figuring out the game a bit more. And I'll say this. I've seen so many bad goals on stream. I think Ryan touched on it earlier. These are included in these goals for, by the way. So imagine if you got rid of all these soft fucking goals. These numbers could be even smaller, man. Like, I mean, what do you think, Ryan? Okay. No? I'll just go fuck myself, I guess. Cool. I mean, that's a thing. So, like, he literally cut out at, like, the perfect time. Are you back?
Wow, that was incredible. Like, my PC just dropped the Wi-Fi for a second.
I was literally like, I'm like, what do you think, Ryan? And then you're like, and then all of a sudden your screen went white. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Like, I get it. Is it because I said something about Cosmic? Because I'm not going to take it back. But what do you think, man? Do you think it's just the league's figuring it out, getting stronger? I mean, these are all the factors that play into why the goals are so down this season, right?
Yeah, well, I think another part of it, too, is that a lot of the players in this league have now consistently been playing with each other for a long period of time. I think chemistry between certain players has grown because of that. And I also think that some of the people that we have recently acquired into the league have kind of organically taken to the 2-3-9 mentality of what we're doing here. I think overall, just the players that we have in here and the mindset of everyone trying to perform at a better level, I think it's growing. That's growing. That thought's growing. And it's making everybody, I don't want to say try hard, but it's making everybody work harder. And people themselves, the individual players, are just becoming better. So I like what I'm seeing in this league. I don't necessarily like it being a goaltender in this league because the offensive players have gotten a lot better too. This season's off to a fantastic start. But yeah, man, I'm loving it.
We're going to end the show with this segment. So I had Peaceful Bob, who is a huge fan of the show, and he sent me a message on Twitter, and he said, listen, basically, you guys, I love the show. You guys do so much good stuff on there, different things like that, but I'm intrigued, and he was asking me specifically, but I know that Dolly is kind of a really good example of this, so I want to let Dolly speak as well. What do you, he asked me here, I can just read it. I'll just read it really quick so you guys know where this came from. It said, hey, I've been noticing since playing a lot of goalie, people signing up, playing defense, not really sure how to completely play the role. So I thought it'd be cool maybe to hear a breakdown of the position from a player's perspective, somebody who plays there a lot, and understand their style of D and how to mesh that style with your D partner style, and get that across. So I would love to touch on this because I think it's kind of cool. Back when we were doing the magazine, which I believe Hansel is still working on potentially bringing that back into the mix. I did a segment in there, like top 10 things for a D-man. And Dolly and I have actually talked privately about this, about like what are some of the factors that play into being a good D-man, different things like that. So I think I'm going to let him go because he kind of is in a really unique situation. Dolly, first and foremost, now know this, already has the IQ, which is a big thing. IQ, lane control, different things like that. Secondly, he's played defense in the past, so there's that. Third, he has had the weird luxury for the last 3 seasons of playing with Chelsea, Drug Monkey, and myself in 3 straight seasons. So not saying that that's anything, but when you can watch 3 people who are highly regarded, it could play a factor as well. So Dolly, what are some of the big factors for you on D? Like, what are you looking to do? What are kind of your mainstay things when approaching playing in the position?
Well, it's this just works for me. Okay, this is going to work for everybody. But every time my team gets scored on, and you can ask any captain that's had me so far, anytime my team gets scored on, I'm mad at myself. Doesn't matter where I am on the ice. It doesn't matter if EA fucked me. It doesn't matter whose fault it was. If Jelly wasn't covering the freaking D-man at the point. There's always a way that I can improve on every single play. And I stopped and think to myself, how can I have adjusted, regardless of whether it's play normal hockey and be in position, or if it's the game's gonna fuck you, so just go over here instead, so that way you can block a shot. There are many different ways to approach it. Most important thing on D is consistently be ahead of your wing, like your opposing winger, your check. Make sure that nobody gets in behind you. Always be aware of where they are. and be aggressive at the blue line. Once people come across the blue line, I'll use drop past Murphy's for example. When Sandy brings the puck into the zone, he will go like one stride over the blue line and he'll turn towards the boards and he'll put a stick in the boards and he'll wait for his wingers to just dash towards the net. If you give them that space, if you give them the opportunity to get into your zone and set up, you're already at a huge disadvantage. Playing the initial like outlet pass is the best way to eliminate a play from happening altogether. I watched Daly do it my first season. I watched Chelsea do it the next season, and Drug Monkey does it too. When that D-man on the opposing team tries to throw that puck up toward the red line, where all three of the forwards are normally at, if you can be there in front of him and poke that puck away, it eliminates their play immediately. They have no shot in the zone. They have no pass. They have no dump in, nothing. So that's the most important thing. The second thing is don't chase people into the corner. Don't do it. It's not worth it. The way this game works, it's gonna suck you in, and they're just gonna roll around you, and they're gonna go and right at your goalie. Let them dance around in the corner all fucking day. They can have 20 minutes time on attack. They'll never have a lethal shot from the corner. So if everybody's paying attention, fuck them. There's like being consistent and being in position is the most important thing in this game. Positioning is what is rewarded the most in this game, not actual hockey, sadly.
Yeah, and he made some really good points. I've said it on this show. Cherry picking is some of the worst thing you can do as a forward, because what you're doing is you think you're giving yourself all this ice to make these plays, but a good D-man is going to really be able to take your ice away. Because here's the thing, when you're the only guy, all of a sudden, I don't have to think about my right. I don't have to think about my left. I can make my read and I say, you're the only motherfucker back here. So my read, my lane, my everything becomes you. And my sole focus on what's happening becomes that forward. That's what happens when you cherry pick. So when you have that one guy who's like, hey, look at me, I'm in space. It's not doing as much good as you think, because what's the natural reaction from your zone? Oh, I got to hit that guy. I got to hit that guy. Well, when you go to hit that guy, somebody's blanketed on him. You're hoping something stupid happens because that's the only way you're going to get around him. And then God forbid, let's say you make a pass back or something. That guy's all the way up ice. He's got to come all the way back. He's running into people. It's chaotic. So Dali brings up a good point. IQ is a big thing. For me, just knowing the league, these media shows help me so much because I play and I see and I watch the Twitch streams, and you have to know players' tendencies. Left wingers, centers, for instance, I know Esoteric likes to one-touch the puck. So when I see that pass come to him, I'll bait. I'll go at him like I'm going to kind of attack him. And he's thinking in his mind, it kind of becomes a cat and mouse game. And he goes, oh, shit, Daly's coming. Like, I got to get rid of this thing right away. But little does he know, I'm just doing that because I want him to make that pass. And I jump right in that lane. So lane control is a big thing. Dali talked about it. As far as the perfect D partner, this is the biggest thing I can say. And I stand true to this, no joke. It is so much easier for you to adapt to your partner than for your partner to adapt to you. Now, what I mean by this is that guys really get stuck in the way that they play. And let's say that, D-man A, he plays a really aggressive style. He jumps into plays, whatever the case is. A good D-man is going to jump. If I'm playing with someone like that, you know what? I'm going to stay back. I'm going to let him do the bit, and I'm going to play this kind of game because I know how he plays. The best thing you can do, no matter who you're playing with, is being adaptive to that player, because it's so much easier for you to play off of them than to hope and think that they're going to try and play off you. So when people ask me, like, oh, why do you like playing with this guy, whatever, those are kind of the reasons, is that I just kind of adapt to who I'm playing with. People ask why I like playing with Odd Guy. Well, I like playing with Odd Guy because Odd Guy plays like me. So I like playing with Odd because he thinks just like I think. So I know what Odd's always doing. So I know where to be on my end. That's big for me. I like playing with Tompkins because Tompkins plays a little bit of a different style than me. He likes to move the puck quick, get it to me. I'm very involved in breakouts when I play with Tompkins. That's why I like playing with him. I like playing with McGilla because I know that I can be offensive and get into plays and be that offensive type of player from the back end that I like to be. So again, it's just, you have these certain tendencies, but with each one of those D-men, I play differently. And it's just adapting to that sort of guy. So, again, I can't put the sticks in your hand. I can't make you poke check a certain way. But I think the biggest thing that me and Dali touched on, lane control for sure. Knowing who you're playing and the IQ and their tendencies. Listen, we've been in this league 4, 5, 6, 7 years. You learn tendencies. You learn them, and you don't even realize you're learning them. So those are some of the big things that I feel and really becoming, maybe from going and being like, oh, I'm okay at D to being a good D. And then from there, the stick skills do come into play. You know, you got to have the stick skills as well. You just got to keep practicing, going, learning the ins and outs of the game, and that's it. So, but shout out to Bob, man. If you guys ever want something specific on the show, questions, whatever, leave it. You know, put it in the Throwdown thread, G-Chat. I mean, I think everybody has my G-Chat. There's naked pictures of me running around all over the fucking internet. I'm sure you guys have my fucking G-Chat. So hit me up, man. Send me your fucking questions.
Or if you just want to see sexy belt time, I can give you that too. Just throw the request in.
I'm going to post a picture of Ability with the dildo so you can truly see the hands. Have you seen that picture, Ryan? The hands?
Yeah, whoever made that picture is a giant fucking traffic cone.
It was Sniper, and it's hysterical because in the background it's Yambag with the ski mask on. And it's Ryan with these little baby hands kissing a black dildo. It's literally my favorite thing in 239 ever. So shout out to Sniper on that. I know he's feeling a little under the weather. Guys, with that said, it's 8:55, 9:55 your time, 8:55 my time. We're heading out, man. We got serious tonight. Dolly, let's do the send-off, man. Anything before we leave?
Oh, just good luck to everybody. It's been a good night. I'm glad we actually did it tonight. I missed last week. I'm sad, but no more of that.
Ability, man. Give me something.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I got a series. I got to go handle some business tonight. I've got some things that I need to discuss with my team before we launch this off, too. So, 239, keep it up, man. It's been a fantastic start to season 6. I know everyone's having a ball out here. And if you are on one of the teams that we talked about that is underperforming, man, just get it together in the locker room. Have some chats. Get some game plan going. That's all it takes to be good in this league. I'm telling you, not all it takes, but it's going to help you be good in this league. So get those teams meshing, fellas, because the talent's out there.
That was it, man. That was a good show. We touched everything that I wanted to touch. I didn't get to say my line in the beginning. I'm upset about that. I really am, man. Like, you guys don't understand. There's a lot that goes into the Throwdown. There's a lot that goes into putting this product out every week. And, you know, it's tough. We hate missing. Like, we were all sitting there, like, we were contemplating, like, should we do it on Sunday? And then we just couldn't get together on, like, it was a whole thing. Like, we hate missing shows, but we appreciate each and every one of you guys coming out here, listen to us every single week, man. It really does mean the world. It's why we do it. And it's why we come back and why we do this every week. Like I said, we're coming up on 100 episodes. Think about that. We only do 4 a month. So think about what 100 episodes actually is. It's pretty spectacular when you think about the league and everything that it is. So I'm super excited to do that. Hey, how's Will? I haven't seen Will in forever. How's my buddy?
Oh, yeah. No, Will's great. Will knows that he's co-captain champion. That kid, he's having a ball. I got him a pair of rollerblades. He got to test those out the other day for the first time. That was fucking hilarious. I should have taken videos, but I will get a video of that.
I saw it on Facebook, man. I was expecting videos to come. They didn't come. I want to get I got to talk to Dom, man. I look really fat in that picture on the shirt, man. We got
this one?
Yeah,
nah, man. No, this is historic. You know what? This is nostalgic daily right here.
All right, man. Yeah, if you watch the original Throwdowns, if you want to see a fat mess, go and watch those. It's quite the treat. But guys, gals, it's been another edition of the Thursday Throwdown. As always, I've been your host, X to the D to the A to the L to the Y. Big series tonight. I will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Peace.